Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of the Ponderings of the Perkei Avot. Today we'll be tackling chapter 4, verse 19, where Rabbi Yanai said, "It is not in our power to explain either the tranquility of the wicked or the suffering of the righteous." Boy, what a big can of worms. This is one of the biggest theological and philosophical subjects that really bothers atheists and agnostics and even believers, hardcore, dyed-in-the-wool, true believers struggle with, and that is, the suffering of the just, and, why do good people suffer? Why do bad things happen to good people? And even though in the Perkei Avot, it says, we haven't the power to explain this. And basically they're saying, hey, we're just finite human mortals who only see on this side of eternity, and we're not infinite, and we don't understand the whole scope of the thinking of God, and why things are the way they are. So they're just giving sovereignty over to God, saying that God is holy, God is just, there's reasons for what happens, there's reasons why he does what he does and why things are the way they are. I mean, first of all, we can talk about suffering and why it is, why bad things happen to good people, because of the fall of man, because of Adam's sin, and the majority of Judaism disagrees with this. Mainstream Judaism has gotten away from this. But, because of Adam's sin, it's like a disease, we inherit that sin disease, we inherit that, and so we are fallen in our nature just as Adam was. But even though that Rabbi Yana said that, it is not in our power to explain either the tranquility of the wicked or the suffering of the righteous, nonetheless, rabbis and sages have attempted it. Here are some reasons that some of the rabbis, some classical reasons given by the rabbis and sages. One, God is being merciful to the wicked. Okay, this is why the wicked prosper, and why it seems like the wicked sometimes gets away scot-free, and things, it appears that bad things don't happen to the wicked. God is being merciful to the wicked, knowing that they will have an eternity to suffer, and hoping that his goodness upon them will soften their heart and realize it's God's doing and turn to him. In the same token, the righteous will be rewarded at rest for all eternity, so a little bit of suffering down here really is insignificant in the whole scheme of things. In some ways, suffering builds character and brings us closer to God. It has also been suggested that suffering of the righteous somehow atones for the wicked. Just kind of like shoplifting. Very poor example, but bear with me. Enough people shoplift, who's going to pay for all that stolen merchandise? The good, honest people do. It's called taxes. It's called inflation. It's called price markup and increase. The good people are kind of atoning for, what the bad people do. Kind of the same thing. Number two, Kabbalah suggests that time is an illusion and therefore reward... Excuse me, let me repeat myself. Kabbalah suggests that time is an illusion and therefore reward and punishment doesn't come when we think it should. So a prosperous wicked person may actually be rewarded in the present for a good deed he'd done years ago, and a righteous person may be suffering some injustice on account of a sin he had committed long ago and had forgotten about in the past. So, those are some ways that we have tackled the issue of suffering in Judaism as a whole. Anyway, that's the Ponderings of the Perkei Avot for this time. Tune in again, and we'll see you on the other side. Shalom, Shavua Tov.